Good to go?
Good to go.
All right. Welcome to Comic Confidential, the yearly show where we discuss our favorite things from the world of superheroes and popular culture from the year that was. My name is Troy, and this year I'm joined by my good friend Cade.
I'm back.
I'm back.
Cece's back, baby.
Cece's back, baby. I guess we need to kind of explain what and why.
Just because.
Why not?
Why not is the better question to that.
Well, I look at it like this. Like, this show started because two guys got drunk and decided to start a podcast.
And then the show came back.
And then the show came back when two guys got drunk and decided to bring a podcast back. But then they thought, hey, wouldn't it be fun if we just did it once a year?
Yeah.
And then just did a recap of the entire year that was.
Absolutely. Do you remember, we were podcasting like religiously for a while there.
Yes.
Do you remember that there used to be podcasts that would come out like at Thanksgiving or Christmas time where they would they would review like movies like Paul Blart Mall Cop?
That's the one I know, yeah.
Yeah.
The yearly Paul Blart Mall Cop one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is our version of that.
This is our version of that, except instead of just reviewing one shitty movie, we're going to review one shitty year at a time. Because as the years have gone recently, none of them have been great.
No.
Not since 2018, I want to say, was probably the last good year we had.
Maybe.
Or was that bushfire year?
Oh, that was a
2017.
You know what?
I had a pretty good year in 2016 myself personally.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
let's
call
run
it
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2023, mate, not looking much better. We're about 5 days in, and you know what? I could live without it.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
But hey, we'll come back in January of 2024, and we'll see.
We'll break it down. We'll break down the ups and downs of the first 5 days of this year.
That's right. So we're going to cover off a couple of the bigger kind of news stories that happened over the course of the year. Some of it comic book related, some of it not. Then we're going to go through like a bunch of the movies and the TV shows that came out, and we'll do a quick little thing about what we thought about all of that sort of stuff that happened. Can't say much of it is going to be super positive this year.
We'll rate the year as a hit, shit, or split at the
we'll rate the entire
end.
year for sure, definitely.
Oh, and sorry, just before we continue, if you're listening to the audio version of this, there is a video version.
Yes.
So
I need to remind myself that there's a video version.
Yeah.
And not to like...
Don't throw up your gang signs.
Don't throw up my gang signs.
Yeah, anything like that.
Yeah, don't, keep my pants on, etc.
Well, you don't have to.
I don't have to, but it's probably best if I do. I'm going to start off in 2022 as the year that, now that we have video, I had to get glasses.
Yeah, I think they look great.
Look,
I didn't bring mine. And now I feel
surprised.
sad.
I'm surprised. We could have been Glass Brothers.
Like balding
glass
bros.
Glass bros.
Yeah.
Old men. Just a couple of old men.
We are dead set becoming more stereotypical of the average white male every fucking day.
Yeah. It's pretty bad.
I refuse to become a stereotype.
I don't know if I can help it. Like, I want to refuse to become a stereotype, but every year I just get more white, more middle-aged, more male. Yeah. So anyway, not a thing I can avoid. But yeah, I needed to get glasses this year just for reading.
Okay.
I can still see things relatively well without them, but that's it starts. It starts there, and then it just all turns
downhill
to shit.
Yeah, but they look good. I think you look quite snazzy with them.
Thank you, my friend. They are Ray-Bans, if I can say that without getting us in trouble on air somehow.
This episode is brought to you by Ray-Bans.
By these Ray-Bans, though.
Yeah.
Just these ones.
Just those ones.
Yeah. Anyway. So
I have Tommy Hilfiger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not if we're like comparing.
Yeah.
But that's what I would.
Does it go with your Tommy Hilfiger shirt and your
my
Adidas bum bag?
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. So that was 2022 for me in a nutshell. But you know what else happened? The Queen died.
The Queen died.
I remember that. That was a big thing.
She had a good stint.
She had a pretty good run.
You know what? I think she probably like left at the right time, considering the Netflix special that's come out.
She knew it was coming.
She knew it was
was
coming.
Like, you know what? I can't be here for this.
Yeah.
I'm not having it.
I'm done.
Just now's the time.
She pulled a Yoda.
She just got so sick of hearing her kids talk. She's just like, you know what, I'm out.
I'm done.
Well, not her kids, but her grandkids.
Yeah. But we have a king now.
We have a king now. God save the king. Is that what you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Never had to do it in my entire life.
Yeah. I've never had to save a king before.
Yeah. Well, me neither. Chess, maybe, I guess would be the only time. Not that I play chess a lot.
Yeah.
I know I wear glasses.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
but I'm
thrown
not
off.
an intellectual.
Okay.
All right. I'm a dumb guy.
They're dummy glasses.
They're
They're safety glasses
safety
so
glasses.
you don't poke your eyes out.
Yeah, exactly. We can't be around sharp things. But the Queen died, and probably the King of Spin also died, didn't he?
Warney. Yeah.
Yeah. A bit of a sad year for cricket fans.
Absolutely. Not only him, another great player, Andrew Simons, passed away.
I didn't know until recently.
Yeah, he was my favorite player of
really?
all time. Yeah,
Oh, no good.
mostly because I had personal connections with him by getting drunk with him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. When did that happen?
At an event called the Caulfield Ashes, which is basically like a big bush cricket tournament.
Oh.
And all these old school players used to go there, and he used to just get absolutely messy.
Yeah.
So,
I was like, how can you make cricket worse? And a bunch of people get together and it's just like, let's put it in the bush.
oh man, it's fucking terrible, but it's the best. Like it's 40 degrees because they do it in January.
Yeah.
It's over the Australia Day weekend.
The hottest part of the year
man.
almost.
And it's played on like the most unlevel terrain. So people break legs, like snap shins and shit like that. It's
And is it in like Charters Towers or one of those dry
so like
ass
central Queensland.
central Queensland towns? Yeah. No offense to Charters Towers, of course, but Jesus, live somewhere else. Like of
Just
all the
move
places,
the whole
just
town.
move. Like just pick up the town and just move it somewhere a little bit less hot and dry. But yeah, sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Not really something that I'd be
Into? Yeah.
Just cricket in general,
Yeah, that's
to be
fair.
fair. But I, like as an Australian, I felt it was, necessary for me to, mourn the loss of Warney by pounding a durry. And
Yeah. Smashing a VB.
smashing a VB. Oh God. We'll talk a little bit about something pop culture-y, I guess, that happened, or like everything's pop culture related, I guess, but it's kind of something a little bit more comic booky.
Okay.
For the nerds that are listening, which is me and you, and probably just me and you.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the two of us. We don't know. We've been gone for a long time. But The Walking Dead has finally come to an end.
The Walking Dead TV show. One
original,
of the TV shows. Yeah.
Plenty of spin-offs coming.
Gone. Saddest final episode of a TV show I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, come on now.
Not for real.
How?
It was just very, very, very sad. I don't want to spoil it. So some people may not have seen it yet, but there's a rather large death and they hit it home.
If you haven't seen it yet, I feel like you've either checked out a long time ago like me, or, you tried and you failed and just couldn't finish it, or you never started it.
But
I think if you had gone the 11 years or whatever, however long it's been, and been dragged through the mess that was season 4 to 11, like there is no way that you would drag it out any longer. Like if that episode dropped, you'd be like, I need to get this done. I need to watch it live while it's happening so I never have to watch this show again.
Fair.
So I feel like you can tell me. I'm going to guess who I feel like, and
Okay.
I promise you I have absolutely no idea who died.
Okay.
But I'm trying to think of who was left in one of the last seasons that I saw, which was like season 8
Yeah.
or 9 or something. Carol?
No.
Yeah.
No. And to be honest, no, I'm not even going to tell you because now I know you're not invested enough to even care.
Yeah. Well, who are these people? Like, who could you possibly give a shit about that's left?
It's someone, I think they came in like season 4.
Maggie.
Nah. Maggie. That season, man, look, we're going to spend a whole episode re-educating you about the fucking Walking Dead.
Well, this is how long it's been. It's been 1,000 years since I've stopped watching it, and it's only just finished in 2022.
It was a lifetime ago.
It was a lifetime
Yeah, it
ago.
was. I tell you what, though, the season ended in the way that I think the season could only really end.
Yeah.
By setting up every other spin-off. Which I think
course.
that's like a real downfall to a TV show when it can't just end in its own little bubble.
Yeah.
Like it's got to go, oh, by the way, here's this. By the way, here's that. Because there's like 3 spin-offs coming off this
Yeah.
TV show, which is a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah, because you're getting the Daryl Dixon show, you're getting the Negan and Maggie show, and you're getting the
Rick and Michonne show or
Show.
movies?
No, it's a show.
It's a show.
Yeah, like
And
very
don't-
limited series.
Don't forget, you also already had Fear the Walking Dead
Yep.
and whatever that Days Gone By or bloody whatever it was.
the
About
one that
the
was
kids
on. I watched that. I put myself through it.
Yep.
It got immensely better.
did it.
Yeah, and I was disappointed that they ended it because it directly, believe it or not, it directly corresponds into the main Walking Dead like story.
Well, as did Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah,
when
but
they had
that's
that
a
crossover.
direct connection there.
Yeah.
Another spin-off that I don't know if you knew exists is Tales of the Walking Dead.
I did. I haven't watched it.
I've only watched the first episode because you can only get the first episode for free on Amazon Prime.
Sure.
But holy fuck, it is so good.
Really?
Unbelievably good. It's Terry Crews and Olivia Munn.
Ah, I'm a big fan of both.
Exactly. And it is funny as hell.
Really?
And it's actually just amazing. If those two did a Walking Dead series together, it would be huge.
I don't know.
I'd just like to look at it.
Yeah, I'd like to. Yeah.
Big buff Terry Crews, very pretty Olivia Munn.
Olivia Munn is so pretty.
So pretty.
So pretty. I'm sure she's also very talented.
I think she might be a little bit talented.
She's probably talented as well. She's very funny in a lot of stuff
Yeah.
that she's been in. Anyway.
I highly recommend watching it.
Okay.
Even
all
if
right,
it's the
I'll check
only
it out.
thing you watch, because it's all I've watched.
I will check that out and nothing else.
Okay.
I promise you, I'll check
Okay.
out nothing else. But yeah, I mean, it took a long time, but it's done. Are you happy it's over? Are you happy that saga is that? Is this like a How I Met Your Mother kind of thing where
No, nothing is ever that bad.
it wasn't as bad as that? Like, at least How I Met Your Mother kept some of its quality over the course of its 10 seasons, except for the final season.
And then the final episode was just the worst hour of TV that ever existed.
Was the final episode... No, the whole last season was like the wedding, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then the final episode undid that whole season.
God, it's so bad.
Oh, it's fucking terrible.
So
It's
bad.
making me angry even thinking
It
about
didn't
it.
undo the whole season. It did it
whole
undid
series.
the whole series.
Yeah, it did.
My God, it was so shit.
Ugh.
Oh, got to be one of the worst endings to what was like once a good show.
Yeah.
And not just a final episode. Like, there's been bad final episodes before, but to like completely tank an entire series with a final season,
And have the whole fandom hate it too.
and then the whole fandom hates it, and no one will ever go back and rewatch it because they're
No.
just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like almost Game of Thrones-ish, but Game of Thrones' final season wasn't that bad in
Yeah.
the grand scheme of things. It did some stupid shit. But, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't How I Met Your Mother.
yeah.
But anyway, that was 2018 or something.
All
We're
right.
talking about 2022.
Yeah. We have to keep rolling. We're like a quarter of the way through the show.
No times, baby. We got a whole year to talk about this
Well,
shit.
there's times because there's video time.
Oh.
So if the video cut short, listen to the rest of it on audio.
Sure, we'll be there.
So I do apologize for that. You'll just get black screen for the last whatever bit. Okay, what else? Kanye blew up.
Oh, not in a good way. This
Fuck, man, what's he doing?
this is a prime example of like needing to have people around you
Who care?
who care and who just, you know, will tell you to just, you know, shut the hell up. Like, whatever it is that you're thinking, just don't say it.
He has no filter anymore, man.
He has no filter, and that's the problem. You can't.
When you go on InfoWars and you get censored on InfoWars,
Yeah, it's
you
pretty-
know, there's something bad.
Shit's pretty bad, and we're not really gonna we're not gonna go into like
can't
what he
say those
said,
words.
and, you know, all that sort of stuff. We're not gonna open ourselves up to say something stupid. But don't you just miss the old Kanye?
I do. You know, Kanye, who used to just drop banger after banger.
I just used to drop mad bangers, and I don't even want to say it was Kanye with Kim Kardashian is where it got bad, because I think it was before that.
Yeah, it was.
I think he started to fall off quite a bit before that. But man, he used to be so good.
He used to be the best.
Because I think he used to be good because you just didn't know him as a celebrity and you just knew him as an artist.
Yeah, exactly. And then he became that personality.
Yeah, and then once he became that personality and started buying into his own bullshit, and started thinking he was the second coming of Jesus and like all this sort of stuff, that's kind of when it all started to turn to shit. And you kind of like, for years, we've kind of been going, oh my God, Kanye, shut up.
Shut up and just sing.
Shut up, man. Just shut up and sing.
Yeah.
But it's gotten to a point where, you know, he's lost $1 billion deals, all of it, just because, you know, he's just left himself completely unfiltered. I don't know if there's coming back from that.
No, there's not.
Like, there are certain people that, you know, can say stupid shit, and you come back from it. Donald Trump, I guess, is a prime example of, you know, someone who can say dumb shit and still, you know, get a presidency and that sort of stuff. But I don't think Kanye's coming back from this.
He's done. It's catchyoulater.com.
Yeah.
Talking about .coms, Twitter.
Twitter.com/dumpster fire.
Oh, man. I love it, though. I love it. Like, I secretly love it. You know, take Elon how you want. I'm like neither like a fan or a hater. I'm like very neutral on the guy.
Sure.
So I'm very excited to see what Twitter holds for the future, because if you go on mainstream media, it's a dumpster fire, like, oh, Twitter's dying, Twitter's blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But like Twitter is actually thriving if you look at the real numbers, and it's like, far out, where's this going to go in a year? Like, is it like building up to go off the cliff?
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's Bitcoining.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? I've never liked Twitter. And I know that it's a much more popular platform in like America and stuff like that than it is in Australia. But Australians have taken to it, and, you know, but it has always been, to me, just, it's either really nasty people from the far right or really nasty people from the far left.
Yeah, there's no middle ground, is there?
Anybody in the middle is just like cannon fodder for these assholes on either end of the political spectrum. And so for that reason, I've just always tried to stay off it. Anytime I see a post and like I decide for some stupid reason to like look in the comments, like on a Twitter post,
you go down the threads.
Man,
it's the best.
You go down this horrible rabbit hole of humanity's worst.
Yeah,
and you know, like sometimes there's just no coming back. Like, you see some things and you're just like, well, this has changed me forever.
Yeah.
So personally, I hope that Twitter does collapse, but I know that just like, you know, the Hydra, the mythical beast, you cut off one head and 3 more are going to spout. Easy. So it doesn't matter, you know, what happens. You get rid of Twitter, something is coming in its place.
Yeah.
And there'll always be some shit for these outright assholes to just, you know,
sink their teeth into. Yeah. Look, it's all kinds of amazing. The thing that I loved is that he brought out the $8 a month fee if you want a blue check.
Oh my God.
And then all the blue checks in the world fucking uproared and took the biggest ego hits in the world.
Yeah, imagine being again, it goes to both sides. Imagine being the type of person that will pay $8 to get a blue tick, right? And, you know, to make yourself look cooler on Twitter.
Yeah.
But also imagine being somebody that's, you know, an actual celebrity that's outraged because some schmo has paid $8 to get verified like they have. Like, they've worked so hard to become verified on Twitter. Like, you can literally do it by having like your name on a couple of different fucking accounts. It's
quite simple to get verified.
Yeah, it's not hard. But to have the nerve to be like outraged because other people have gotten themselves a blue tick, and how dare they? Yeah, you know, how dare I?
Unworthy swine.
Yeah, exactly. You unworthy swine. Like, you're not worthy of the blue tick. But then on the other hand, you know, who the fuck are you paying $8 to get a blue tick? Like, man, why?
Egos, man.
Oh,
that's it.
God.
It's far. It's the best.
That's why I hate Twitter so much.
I love it for it now.
There's not there's not much social media that I actually actively enjoy.
Yeah.
I kind of like watching dog reels on Instagram.
Yeah.
And that's about as far as it gets. But even Instagram, like you watch one video about something.
And then you've got it for a month.
Andrew Tate, as an example. I watched one video and now it thinks I'm like some Andrew Tate fuckboy that just wants nothing but Andrew Tate videos. And I'm like, I don't. I just watched one.
Stop liking and commenting on it then.
I can't. I can't help it. Top G's my boy.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck. Oh, God. I'm not about to align myself with that gentleman.
Look, let's move on to the last big news item.
Yes.
I know there's many more, but this is the one that we want to talk about.
Yeah.
And this will kind of like just probably lead into a whole bunch of chit chat anyway. So the DC debacle of the hiring of James Gunn and the firing of Henry Cavill.
Oh, mate.
Fuck, I was angry.
I wouldn't necessarily. Yeah. Look, the hiring of James Gunn was a good move.
Yes.
Just poor timing.
Yeah.
Like you can't.
If it happened 3 years later, excellent.
You can't turn around and say, hey, Henry Cavill, announce that you're coming back as Superman because you're in Black Adam and we're going to do more. And then go, oh, we're going to hire James Gunn. And James Gunn then turns around and goes, oh, well, this is the direction we're going and it's not that. And then, oh, Henry Cavill, can you just jump on social media and say you're no longer Superman anymore? Like it was pretty poorly timed.
Absolutely. Devastating. And you know what? I don't think we need to see. Yeah, I'm happy to eat crow in a couple of years when it all comes out and it's potentially excellent.
Yeah.
But man, in my opinion, I don't need a young Superman movie because I've got 10 seasons of Smallville of a young Superman.
Nobody needs a young Superman movie.
No, we need to learn about his trials and tribulations of going through high school, of being a superpowered person who doesn't have a weakness in the world, and there's nothing that can stop him.
We've never seen it before, have we? Oh my God, there hasn't been, like, we honestly do not need like anything else other than a Superman kicks a whole bunch of people's ass movie.
Yeah.
That's literally all we need. And, fair enough, fair play to whoever is, if it is James Gunn that's, pushing that kind of agenda or whatever, or if that's just something we heard on social media somewhere. And like you said, like if it turns out that it's good, then sweet. But it's kind of like, just maybe we just move on then. You know what I mean? Maybe we just don't have Superman movies for a few years.
Yeah.
Like let's just.
Well, I mean, it's already been about 10 years since we've had a dedicated one.
Well, that's true, but like, you know what I mean? Like maybe it's time to move past that character. And then of course, like Wonder Woman's gone now.
Yeah. Which is, I think that was like one of the best castings.
Oh, one of the best castings, but the second movie was shit.
It was terrible.
It was terrible. Like how you go from Wonder Woman 1 to Wonder Woman 2, I will never know. So I can only imagine that Wonder Woman 3, because there's a bit of a thing. There's like, people are saying, oh, well, James Gunn has said that, Wonder Woman 3 is not happening and all that sort of stuff. But then there's also this talk that Patty Jenkins said, this is the script for Wonder Woman 3. If you don't want to do this script, I'm out. And they said, we don't want to do that script. So then she left. So then the project was cancelled. So depending on who you believe and what's true and what, but I don't think I care because Wonder Woman 2 was so bad that if I don't see a Wonder Woman 3, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Whereas Man of Steel was great.
It was amazing. I'm going to go home and watch it tonight.
Man of Steel was good, and for so long we've wanted a second one, and for that brief period of time.
There was that glimmer of hope.
Anyway, whatever. But what it does go is it's like, we're taking the DC entertainment universe in a whole new direction and all that sort of stuff. You still got a bunch of movies coming out.
I know, and it's like, what's the point?
And now those movies mean absolutely nothing. And
because what's coming out? There's Aquaman
2, Shazam, Fury of the Gods,
and The Flash, which surely has to be the rebooting
element. I don't even know if they're going to make that movie.
I don't know. They'd have to.
I had a dream. This is the true story.
Okay.
I had a dream, might have been last night or the night before, that I saw parts of the Flash movie, and it was fucking terrible.
Really?
Like I'm talking about reports of Batgirl terrible. You know what I mean?
But testing audience have said it's the best.
Have they?
Yeah.
Paid?
Like, outrageously good.
Paid DC shills?
Potentially.
Yeah. Look, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they're going to do it. I don't know if they're going to do it for a number of reasons, one of them being Ezra Miller. But Aquaman 2 is coming out. That's done. That's a thing that's happening. Yep. And we're supposed to just watch that and go, cool, thanks, pointless. Shazam 2, oh, cool, thanks, pointless. Black Adam, oh, cool, thanks, pointless. Because
I'm not going to go see him at the cinemas.
Why the fuck would you?
Exactly.
Like, why would you waste your time and money going to the cinemas to watch these movies that ultimately mean nothing?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. So while the hiring of James Gunn is probably a really good move, and we'll see whether it turns out to be a good move or not. He has made one of the best DC movies in a long time, being The Suicide Squad. One of the best DC TV shows in a long time, being Peacemaker. So the talent, we know the talent's there as far as a movie maker and all that sort of stuff. Whether he can do it as the CEO of DC, entertainment, we don't know. But the timing is terrible. And
it's like $1 billion.
Yeah.
Like, this is $1 billion adjustment.
Because don't forget, Aquaman made $1 billion.
Made 1.3, didn't it?
At the box office.
Yes.
So you've got a chance to either make that again or even go better.
Mm-hmm.
And now you've probably ruined it because people aren't going to turn out, in droves to the cinemas to see Aquaman 2 because most of us don't care because we know that's it. It's all over from there, and the story means nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
The story literally means nothing. So anyway, it is what it is. But that's probably one of the biggest stories to come out of 2022. The fact that DC have just lost the plot.
Yeah, man.
And they're trying to right the ship, I guess, by bringing in like a Kevin Feige-ish figure.
Makes sense.
It makes sense, but man.
Damn,
could have done it a lot better. Anyway, that's enough.
That's enough.
That's enough news.
All right. Okay, let's move in to while we're on the topic of the DC.
Okay.
Let's talk about the DC movies that came out. I can tell you I haven't watched any of these because they all looked fucking I don't know, average. Black Adam.
Okay.
Did you watch this?
Okay, here's the thing. So I haven't seen Black Adam.
Okay.
Because I've heard nothing but bad things. And the only good things I've heard are from like Twitter handles that, I'm like DC super fan, fucking, whatever.
Best movie ever.
Yeah, all that sort of shit.
Apparently, The Rock apparently was even faking the numbers of downloads of whatever of
like he was literally he was literally I don't want to say he was just making shit up, but he was essentially just making shit up about how successful this movie was. And it's turned out to be
manufactured hype.
Yeah, and it's turned out to be a complete flop. So anyway, it's on streaming now. And I was looking at it, and iTunes is like, "Hey bro, do you want to pay $30 to watch this movie in the comfort of your own home?"
Nope.
And I'm like, "No." No, I do not.
I'm going to wait till that goes to
I will possibly pay
free streaming.
$7.
Yeah.
I will possibly pay $7, but generally by the time I'm paying $7, one of the 70 streaming services that I already pay for has picked it up.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's going to be there somewhere. So no, I didn't see Black Adam. And you know what? I honestly don't even really care if I don't.
I only cared about the end credit scene, which doesn't fucking matter anymore.
Yeah, and look, we can definitely talk about these things and spoil them. It's 2023. It's a whole year later. This is another thing where they've just completely fucked up. Like they've brought Henry Cavill back as Superman in this end credit scene, in the only possible way that they could try to like make this movie watchable. I would assume. Haven't seen it. And then they've just turned around and gone, guess what? Doesn't matter. He's gone. Absolute craziness. It's so crazy. I'm dropping my iPad everywhere. So no, I haven't seen Black Adam. But I have seen The Batman.
Is it good?
The Batman is great.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right.
So the only issue with The Batman, and it's taken me a little bit of time to because when I first saw it, I'm like, this is the fucking best thing I've ever seen in my life. And I honestly thought,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not like you to
no,
do that
like
and then backflip on it.
I never hype up shit and then backflip on it. But with the Batman, like it does fall apart a little bit in the third act.
Oh, yeah.
So
Like all superhero movies really do.
Almost every single superhero movie has done. There's barely been one save. I would honestly go off the top of my head, Infinity War and Endgame are the only two that have probably like in the third act have made me go, holy shit, that was fucking great. Whereas the rest of them, you're kind of like, ugh, you know? So looking back on the Batman, it definitely falls apart in the third act. It's not terrible by any stretch of the imagination, but it's kind of like everything that it kind of built up to, you're kind of like, well, this is every superhero movie now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's disappointing for the movie that it was in the lead up to that, which I thought was fantastic.
Well, okay, here's a question. Do I watch that or do I watch Man of Steel for the 18,000th time?
Let me ask you this question. Do you have 2 hours or do you have 3 hours to spare? Because one of them is 3 hours long.
Yeah, that's the thing that's turned me off it.
And that's kind of the hardest part about like rewatchability for some of these movies. It's like I would love to go back and watch the Batman again.
But it's a big investment of time.
It'll be a third time since it came out, but that's a big investment.
Yeah.
3 hours is a long time to sit there and sort of pay attention to a movie. I've done it twice. That's 6 hours of my life.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
I'm envious that you had 6 hours.
I had 6 free hours. My first experience in the cinema wasn't great. Let me be fair. Someone left a light on up in the room.
What?
Where the projector is.
So it was like a bit of a shitty screen?
Oh, the screen was okay, but the light was like blaring down onto like the back sort of half of the cinema rows.
Weird.
Yeah, and so you're sitting there and you're like, oh my God, it's like daylight in here.
I would hate that.
Yeah, it was so bad. I had to like get up and move, which I don't like doing. And I moved to 3 different spots before I finally found a spot.
That you were happy with.
Yeah, because either it was right where I was and it was bright as, or it was to the side and it was like just straight in my eyeballs.
Yeah.
And then I finally found a spot where, you know, I'm like, okay, this is fine.
I would have raged.
I was probably about 2 hours into the movie by that point.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So it was annoying. But I've watched it again since then. Did you see DC's League of Super Pets by any chance?
Yeah,
do you have children?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. This is another Rock movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Apparently it's not bad.
Yeah. Well, DC animation's always good.
Yeah.
But yeah, not for me.
Had to be a bit more sort of like choosy with what I was watching this year because Marvel had so much goddamn shit coming out that, you know, you just had no choice. But that was kind of it. That was kind of it for the DC movies, I think.
Yeah.
That kind of came out. Plenty of DC TV shows.
Yeah, let's chat about that.
Okay.
Harley Quinn season 3. I haven't watched any of the Harley Quinn TV show.
Look, I'll be fair. I haven't seen season 3.
Okay.
Haven't started it yet.
Because this is the R-rated one, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's quite good.
Okay.
Like, I really enjoyed season 1. Season 2, I was kind of a bit distracted. So I kind of had it on in the background, while I was doing other stuff, sort of thing, but still quite good. And that's kind of, I guess that's kind of why I haven't like rushed back to see like 3. Season 3 or anything like that.
Sure.
Just because, you know.
And you also watched what was it? Better Call Saul, all 28 seasons.
I watched all 6 seasons of Better Call Saul from the start to the finish.
Doom Patrol season 3.
Also watched all 6 seasons of Cougar Town, by the way. So,
wow,
2022 was a year. Let me tell you.
Yeah, you're telling me. Doom Patrol season 3. Man, I love Doom Patrol.
Yeah, see, you're way bigger on Doom Patrol than I am.
I think Doom Patrol is one of the best TV shows.
Yeah,
of all time. Like,
I don't.
Oh man, I don't know how you don't find it that way.
I just like. I spent the entire first season just kind of going, can anybody do anything cool? Like, it's really only the chick that has all the different personalities that can do anything cool. And then it's like one guy's a robot, one chick just fucking melts all the time.
Yeah.
And then there's the Beast Boy who is he even in that? I can't even remember.
You're thinking of Titans.
Or didn't he come from that and then go to Titans or something? Didn't something happen? Anyway, whatever.
No.
I'm sure there was
I think, yeah,
like a crossover or
I
something.
feel there would have been, surely. But
But
that does seem familiar.
Yeah. And then who else is in it?
Cyborg,
Cyborg.
like Smallville level
Yeah,
quality.
like Smallville level. Like it got that one
Shiny
thing that he
vest.
does with his arm.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. And then there's the dude that's like the split personality thing, and one of them's like
spirit.
radioactive or
Yeah.
some shit.
Yeah, it's a unique cast. That's what makes it so lovable, Troy.
Yeah, like I get that, and don't get me wrong. Like bringing together a ragtag team of underdogs for the greater good is one of my favorite tropes. But like at some point, I also want to see them doing something that is like of some sort of substance. Like they're all superheroes.
Yeah. Usually they're just like putting out a fire or some type of
exactly.
type of thing.
And like it's kind of like I want them to, like, if they're going to be, I guess a prime example is being able to take somebody as shitty as Polka Dot Man in the Suicide Squad
and make him like outstanding
and making him cool.
Yeah.
Like, and making it kind of go, all right, that's really fucking lame, but that's also pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Whereas all these guys, they're kind of lame and they don't really do anything. Like they don't get any lamer.
Yeah.
Like the chick with the excess skin, I'm thinking, okay, at some point she's going to become like a Reed Richards.
Yeah, like
or there's going to be some
totally.
shit that happens, and all she does is just fucking melts her face all the time
when she gets sad.
And it's like, come on, man. What are you even here for?
I get it.
Do you know what I mean? So I didn't see Doom Patrol season 3.
Well, I love Doom Patrol. Highly rate it.
Highly rate it.
Don't rate Titans anymore.
No, I dropped out of Titans as soon as I
Red
saw their version of Red Hood.
Fuck, it was terrible, man.
And I'm like, this is not for me anymore.
Because it had the potential to be so good. I don't know. Maybe they just rushed that way too quickly.
And maybe it got better. I don't know. It didn't? Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad I kind of dropped out. They also had a Stargirl season 3. Did you ever get into Stargirl?
No, I didn't. I hear it's good though.
Well, it's been cancelled. So
everything at DC's been cancelled.
Yeah, everything CW DC has been cancelled. Except for, has Superman and Lois been cancelled?
I don't know, man. That feels like it's the most invulnerable TV show because it's got good writing.
Well, I've spoken about this before somewhere. Maybe it was on one of the live things that we did at some point over the last year or something. The show is good, but it suffers from the same thing that suffers from every single Superman thing that has ever happened. And that's the fact that Superman is too powerful, right? So they have to always
weaken him. Yeah.
So they either weaken him
somehow. The Smallville
somehow.
effect.
Yeah, or there is some Superman level person, as in they have somehow acquired the powers of Superman through kryptonite or some fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's a problem with that character. And that's probably why I could live without seeing any more Superman for a little while.
Absolutely.
Until they figure out a way to, to kind of make it so we can have interesting stories.
You know what they really should have done to make actually Superman an interesting character is keep Henry Cavill, but give us Superman's son, who's half human, half Kryptonian.
Well, they do that in Superman and Lois.
Yeah. But he's not the main character, and there's stuff with that kid.
Yeah. Look, that could be good too. I just it's really hard to have a Superman level like hero, and then also have them have to face challenges.
Yeah, like it's boring. Yeah. To be honest, Superman's a better character if he was a villain.
Probably, yeah. Well, like a Homelander.
Yeah,
which we'll talk about. When we talk about stuff that's not DC, which we could probably go to now. I suppose.
We have to talk about Peacemaker because that's like a hero who's a villain.
Oh, we didn't talk about Peacemaker.
Peacemaker, fucking best TV show I've seen in a long, long time.
Peacemaker was so good.
It was unbelievably good. I could watch that just over and over and over and love it every time.
Every time. It didn't have any sort of like reason to be as good as it was.
Yeah. And I think that's why it was so good.
Yeah. But it definitely, I agree with you. I think it's one of the best TV shows, not just one of the best comic book TV shows, but probably one of my favorite TV shows from the year of 2022. And it's just one of those things that I guess it was really unexpected. Like, yeah, we had all seen the Suicide Squad and, Peacemaker was funny and, that sort of thing. But he was kind of like the bad guy. And we're like, well, how are they going to turn this, and make us actually like and follow this character? And they did it pretty well, in my opinion.
I loved it.
And I'm looking forward to a season 2 if it comes.
I think it will.
Apparently, it's still coming.
It's in James Gunn's little bubble.
Yeah.
You know, honestly.
Well, he's in charge, isn't
Yeah.
he? So he can make it happen if he wants to make it happen. But yeah, really looking forward to Peacemaker because like that was great. And just further proves the thing that I've been saying for years is that John Cena is fucking way better than The Rock.
100%.
The Rock literally has nothing going for him other than a bit of charisma.
Yep.
Whereas John Cena is actually, you know, he's funny.
He has range.
And he has a bit of range.
He has tons of range.
You know, you kind of, you know, you feel for him when he's sad and, you know, all that sort of stuff. Whereas The Rock, you kind of like, dude, you're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know, big cheesy grin out the side, looking up in the sky a little bit when he does it.
This is why I couldn't watch Black Adam.
Yeah.
It's because, like, there is a depth to that character.
Oh, huge.
You know what I mean? As far as the character.
Like, there's a huge internal battle with him. And do you think The Rock has that?
The Rock, no.
No way, man.
And from all reports, he's just, you know, it's like what they've done is they've kind of neutered any charisma that The Rock has, and they've just kind of made him kind of like stoic. And it's well, that's just fucking boring.
Yeah.
Because The Rock can't do much more than that. I've seen Hercules. He can't do an accent. It's terrible. Are you happy to move on from Peacemaker?
Let's go.
Okay, well, we'll talk about some of the other comic book TV shows before we go on to we'll talk about this one Sony movie that came out.
Oh.
That was a comic book movie.
Okay.
That was called Morbius for some reason. Did you watch Morbius?
I did.
Did you?
I did.
Oh my God, me too.
I didn't think it was as shit as everyone said.
I didn't think it was as shit as anyone said either, but also it's not very good.
You know what? If this came out in the Tobey Maguire era, this would have been an amazing movie.
It probably, yeah. Look, I can see that. There were some things that happened that I'm kind of like, what? Hang on. Why is this happening right now? Like, this is the thing that, but I think you're right. It's right movie, wrong era.
Yeah.
This is not something that can stand up against, you know, Spider-Man No Way Home, that sort of thing. Like it just pales in comparison to that.
But it was very dark. And like, I think that's the thing that kind of went against it, is that this was way darker than majority of the comic book movies that are coming out at the moment.
Well, darker than Venom.
Yeah.
And Venom, you know, should be like relatively dark, but also, you know, a bit sort of
look
like
at
lighthearted.
Carnage. That was fucking terrible, man.
That was
like
such a bad movie.
How does Morbius be the darkest movie in that franchise?
I don't know.
You know, it's just, and I don't know,
because
if in that little Sonyverse, this
Woody
is easily
Harrelson.
the best.
I'm just trying to think of what else has come out, but
So 2 other Venom movies.
I think you might be right.
So this movie, I rate it. Like,
do you?
Absolutely.
I don't know if I could go as far as rating it.
I enjoyed watching it because, you know, the character actually had a lot of depth, and the fact that he had like a weak villain, but that's a comic book movie thing.
Just
you know,
happens.
the villain's the same as you, but it's usually your best friend or brother.
Yeah.
And one's got to die.
Oh,
I haven't heard that storyline before. You know, that was the downside of it. It's another, you know, superhero movie trope. But this movie, I actually rated it, man.
Okay, well, I'm not going to start off 2023 by rating Morbius, but I will say that it was better than I thought it was going to be because people had like ragged on it as one of the worst things that's come out in a long time, and it certainly wasn't that.
Absolutely not.
But it wasn't the best thing, and all it's doing is it's just further showing that they need to just kill this Sony Spider-Man universe, because what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, they got Madam Web coming out now.
Yeah, got Madam Web.
And it's like, who cares? Who cares?
They're obviously building to like the fucking the Sinister Six or whatever it is, and like
who's going to fight these people?
I don't care.
Andrew Garfield?
I don't care.
I'd want that.
I don't want anybody.
I want that. I want that dark Spider-Man universe. That'll look cool.
But they've just like at the end of that movie, they're just like, well, we're going to take the rules that Marvel made with, you know, Far From Home or whatever, or No Way Home, sorry, and we're going to reverse them. And we're going to say it's pulling people into our universe as well.
Yeah.
Which makes no fucking sense.
It was weird.
Other than that's the only way they could get, you know, like Michael Keaton's Adrian Toomes into that universe.
It doesn't make sense, but
it doesn't make sense.
Whatever.
It kind of makes sense for Eddie Brock to be pulled into the Marvel universe, but then, you know, sucked back, that's fine, but leaves a bit of Venom juice.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know about any of that. But it makes absolutely no fucking sense for Michael Keaton's character to be
and he's
sucked
just like,
into
this
the
is
Sony
Spider-Man's
universe.
fault. You want to team up?
Yeah.
And Morbius is like, motherfucker, I'm driving my car.
This is Morbius is a good guy and has spent the entire movie going, hey, I'm not going to fucking kill people.
Yeah.
This is wrong.
I'm doing everything I can to stay on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, you know, I'm a good guy, all that sort of stuff. And then right at the end, he's like,
You want to come fight a kid?
yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, man.
He's like, I'm listening. And it's like, what are you listening to? There's a giant fucking bird man in front of you. Like,
That has what looks like Stark Tech in the universe where, I don't know if...
Hey, man.
Maybe he does.
hey,
This is how we get Robert Downey Jr. back.
come on, man. Anyway, heaps of things that were kind of like very questionable. But overall, like I think it benefited from the fact that it was an hour and 40 minutes too.
Absolutely.
Like,
That's what I really liked about it. That's the perfect length for any fucking comic book movie.
Any longer than that, and I was kind of like, ooh, you're pushing your fucking luck with this movie.
It was well paced.
Yeah. All right. Did you see, we'll just go through these quickly. Did you see The Sandman?
No. Doesn't interest me.
Okay. I watched the first episode and I get that it looks very good. I was kind of bored. I'm sorry, everyone that fucking loves that show for whatever reason. I'll go back to it and, you know, try to finish the first season. And maybe it's because like I haven't really like, you know, read the comic books or anything like that. And I'm not like into the lore that some of these people are like into and all that sort of stuff. But man, the first episode, again, like I get it. But I'm just like, you know, there's just other shit I want to watch.
Totally.
Yeah.
Get it.
The Umbrella Academy season 3.
Man, I just can't get into the Umbrella Academy. Haven't even seen one episode of it. Just doesn't tickle my fancy.
Look, I'm glad it's wrapping up. So it's finishing with the season 4.
Okay.
It's one of these shows that, you know, you don't want it overstaying its welcome.
Yeah.
Because you can see that it's kind of like, you know, the quality is diminishing, you know, per season. Like season 1 was amazing. Season 2 was great. Season 3 is good. You know, like where's season 4 going? Certainly wasn't my favorite thing that came out this year, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time, you know, with them.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, it's time to wrap it up, which is good. And I mean, there's only, I don't think there's much more source material they can do anyway.
Oh, right.
Because
Okay.
I think they've done the major storylines.
Yeah.
But yeah, The Boys season 3.
Loved it.
Gotta
Just
talk
so
about
good.
this. So good. Would this be your favorite for the year, do you think?
They
or?
just keep getting better and better these seasons.
Yeah.
I love that they've brought the Compound V into the team.
Finally.
Yeah, because like reading the comics, big fan of the comics. I don't know if you know that.
Anybody that's listened to any episode of this show.
So it's really, really exciting to see that happen.
Yeah.
Very interesting that they've gone down the route of like you take this Compound V and it's going to kill you.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of that I like that.
But it's not going to happen, is it?
But it's not going to happen. That's the
Yeah.
thing. It's kind of like, is that like just a red herring type of thing?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like you've got maybe one more season left.
Yeah, and this is the only issue that I have with The Boys that I think a lot of people have the same sort of issue. So it's not like I'm some visionary or something. But it's kind of like they need to make a decision with Homelander.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go season after season finishing the same way.
Yeah.
Almost beating Homelander.
But they're not.
But then not beating Homelander. And then you spend a whole nother season going to fight Homelander and then you don't beat Homelander. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, that is something that, you know, your returns will diminish the more that this show carries on because people are just going to go, come on, man.
Again.
You can't have the same, it's basically the same fucking storyline.
Yeah.
They do it really well, right? And bringing in Soldier Boy was great and all that sort of stuff. But guess what? It meant nothing in the end.
Yeah, exactly. That sucked.
They still didn't beat Homelander. And I know that character has become something great in that series and people love it. And Anthony Starr is amazing in the role. And that would make it very hard to, you know, have to try to kill off.
Yeah, your trump card.
Yeah, basically something that is like, you know, like one of the drawing forces of your show. But something's got to happen at some point.
Well, I think next season is the final season, and if it follows like the comics does, man, it's going to be a really good last season.
Yeah, I hope so. I could go 5 seasons.
Yeah,
but I don't think I could go more than that.
No, I don't know, man. I would love 5 seasons, but they need to do something really massive this season.
Okay,
because they gotta they need to do something with this Homelander guy because all these storylines are like coming to this point.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
That orgy thing wasn't enough. What was that called again?
Herogasm.
Herogasm.
Very tame.
Very tame compared to the comic book Herogasm. You can only do so much.
Exactly.
There's only so many penises you're allowed to put on TV.
Exactly.
Yeah. But The Boys was really good. Okay, so we are running long, right? I understand that. So we're going to go through probably one of the most disappointing phases in anything that's ever had a phase, and that's phase 4 of Marvel.
Oh, before we do that, let's quickly shotgun through just the remaining TV shows. Stranger Things season 4. Did you read it? Loved it. So good.
So good.
Fucking killed me that there was that break in between, but don't ever fucking do that again.
I didn't have to worry about that because I watched it late.
Good.
Because I knew how long it was going to be. So I watched it late and then I got to just roll. I binged that whole thing in like a couple of days,
so good.
Man.
Really good.
Yeah.
That, man, if they do their next season to that quality, which you know they will, fuck. And it's the last season next season.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I agree with Paul from the Countdown podcast that they kind of need to do something to bring some actual stakes in. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, because
the whole world's ending now.
Well, every single season though, there's only one person that dies and it's the guest that comes in.
Well, heaps of people fucking died in this season.
Well, sure, but like they're inconsequential to the story. We have absolutely no stake in those people. They all have
families, Troy.
Heaps of people die every day, Cade. Do you weep for them?
Every hour.
Every hour. You know what I mean? But, you know, there needs to be something. It doesn't necessarily need to be one of the kids that bites it. But there's got to be somebody of, you know, some substance that is in some actual real danger or potentially, you know, like is a casualty.
Yes.
That pushes, you know, the boundaries of, you know,
that the mum's going to die.
That's my only knock.
The mum will die. Will die.
They'll all die.
Yeah.
Everyone will die.
Fuck.
That's how they're going to end Stranger Things on a real downer.
Yeah. But I love endings like that.
Sure.
For real.
Where a whole bunch of kids die. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. Favorite type of storyline. Lord of the Rings. Did you watch it? No. Go on, fucking nerd. House of the Dragon.
Did watch it.
Okay.
Didn't mind it.
All right.
Surprisingly, like, you know, it's like, I was kind of like, surely this is going to be terrible.
Yeah.
And it wasn't terrible. It wasn't the best thing I've ever seen. And I hated the time jumps, but I understand the time jumps. But honestly, I think I'm still exhausted.
Yeah.
From the 8 seasons of Game of Thrones before it. Like, I don't think we've had enough time.
Not enough of a break there. Yeah, for sure. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Pretty shit with a couple of good scenes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My thoughts too. If I didn't watch that, I wouldn't have missed anything.
Yeah.
Andor, I hear this is amazing, and now that it's all out, I'm going to binge the shit out of it. I hear it's slow, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, that's kind of what I was waiting for as well, because knowing that it was slow, but good, it's the same principle. Like, I don't want to watch a slow episode and then have to wait a week to watch another slow episode. Like, I may as well just, you know, chomp through these things in a big binge watch. So I'm looking forward to getting into that.
All right. Phase 4, Marvel. The fucking elephant in the room.
Here it is.
Let's start with movies or TV shows.
Look, we'll do TV shows.
All right. Moon Knight.
Not good.
Could have been way better. Should have been way better. Really cool concept. Really cool character.
Concept is good. Character is good.
Execution,
average. Ethan Hawke. No.
What the hell, man?
You know what I mean? Like, I don't even understand what that was as a villain.
No.
I don't understand what even happened at the end of it. I hated the fact that it ended the way it ended.
Yep.
With, you know, one of these flash forwards, you know, and he sort of like a blackout sort of thing, and then he wakes up and he's beating the bad guy. Like, it's like, what the fuck?
Oh, I hated those parts, man. It's just like, that could have been the coolest part of it all.
I was all for it. I'm fine with it until they did it at the end, and there's no fucking answer. Like, you find out that there's a third personality, which you already fucking knew.
Exactly.
Like, you know what the fuck is happening. Right at the first time it happens, they're like, "Oh, was that you?" It's like, "Oh, it wasn't me. Was that you?"
It's
and it's
the
like,
other
"Oh,
guy.
okay." So it's obviously the other guy. But then for them to do that in the final battle,
yes,
you're kind of just like, "What the
cop
fuck?"
out, total
what a
cop out.
shit cop out. Was not a fan of that at all.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough of that.
Miss Marvel.
Really liked it.
Yeah, I was way surprised at how good this was.
Yeah, I think
and it's because it was different.
I think my expectations were low.
Yeah,
going into it, to
zero.
be fair, but I did have a really good time with it.
Yeah,
didn't necessarily enjoy some, like, I feel like even in a show that's as short as this was, there's still some filler that I could have lived without. But I also, I understand why they have to do it and whatever. Like, it is what it is. But
they said mutant. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. And they played the little X-Men riff. That's all I care about.
Yep. Let's talk about the most divisive show ever fucking created.
Mate, this was the show that you just had to stay off the internet for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if anybody posted
it was so meta.
If anybody posted about She-Hulk, obviously we're talking about, like, the
threads.
But just like the shit that would come out in these threads was just insanity.
Yeah.
Like, this is another show, and the same with Miss Marvel, but not to the extent of She-Hulk, that got review bombed before it even came out. And, people were giving it like fucking 0. Like, you can't give it 0 on IMDb, but you're giving it 1s and stuff before it had even aired. Oh, God, man.
I loved it.
I also loved it. And I understand, like, I'm watching it at some points and I'm like, oh, look, the CG is pretty shit.
Yeah, but it's a fucking TV show.
But it's a TV show in a year where, Marvel and Disney decided to release a million fucking things. And, they've outsourced all this shit to fucking everyone to finish.
Yep.
They've only got a certain budget that they can do these things. And, the arts team or whoever came out and said it was a struggle to have a CG character as the main character throughout the whole thing. Like, we didn't realize how difficult it was going to be to have that as the case, because she needed to be She-Hulk for the majority of the time.
Absolutely, yeah.
So they even came out and said, like, we'd probably do it differently, if we could. And so, yeah, the CGI was a little shit, but...
Man, no worse than... Actually, it was way better than, like, any DC TV shows or anything like that have the CG elements in it.
Still better than that sort of stuff. And look at some of their big budget movies. Like, look at some of the CG that is in Thor: Love and Thunder. For the love of
that
God.
Fucking
like,
kid's
the floating head.
Oh, man.
Fuck. I mean, I know it's a thing that's on the internet as a joke, but it
is
should
a
be,
joke.
Because it is actually a joke.
That was the worst shit. But She-Hulk, I loved it.
Yeah.
And I loved how it was like so meta that it knew the internet was going to hate it.
Yeah,
and it already built that into the show's storyline.
It was good.
Yeah, that is sticking it to the plebs.
Sticking it to the nerds.
Yeah, man.
Daredevil came back.
Daredevil came back. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I love this Daredevil.
So happy to see him back.
Just like how much more athletic he is in this.
Yeah.
Rather than like just because in the Daredevil TV series, he was like just a heavy set dude kind of thing. A little bit jumpy over walls and stuff.
Yeah, not like super athletic.
But this one, loved it.
Yeah.
Like springy, loved it. Like almost superhuman, but not.
But not quite. It was good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed him. The ending, I think, is one of the things that kind of like pissed a lot of people off. I, for one, liked it.
I thought it was cool to see something different.
Something different.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need the same. What they started to do and made a joke of, that's what you fucking see all the time.
Yeah.
Like, before, she breaks the fourth wall and, all that sort of stuff. Like, we don't need to see that. It's okay to see something different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What do you want? Did you really want another fucking, like, fight with the Abomination or some shit or whatever it was going to fucking be? Or
it literally addressed everything that we hated about comic book movie endings.
Exactly.
You know, it was. I loved it.
And for that reason, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Look, we are at a point.
Well, what about Hulk's son?
Pretty poor CG.
Pass.
I'll probably pass on that version, to be fair.
Yeah. Apparently, World War Hulk's coming.
Yeah, look, and like it is what it is. Probably not the best way to introduce a character that people love so much.
Whenever I see the scene now, I just think like Hulk's a big dude, but that kid is also huge.
Yeah.
And it's like, what does Hulk like walk in? It's like, hey, just say like right behind me, there's like 20 people at this family gathering.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I'm talking here, and then
oh hey,
here's my son.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we saw him come in with you.
Yeah. He's huge.
He's massive. You can't miss him.
Yeah.
Shit haircut, man.
Yeah, yeah. Shit haircut, shit CG. I just want to reference the fact that we are probably about to lose video.
Oh, potentially.
We have probably gone too long. But
Maybe.
you know what? Hey,
whatever.
We've got some Phase 4 movies to talk about that we're going to talk about. And boy, do I have some things to say.
Oh, okay. Let's kick it off with Doctor Strange 2. Biggest fucking letdown of a movie I've seen. When your title is Multiverse of Madness, you're supposed to be a horror-esque movie.
Where's the madness?
Where's the madness? The madness was me.
Maybe that's
after watching this movie.
Maybe it's a meta joke. Maybe they knew.
Yeah.
They're just like, well, this is going to make them mad.
Man, this is... you know what? This is one of those things that it was just hyped up too much.
Yeah.
But it totally failed to deliver on like almost every level.
I thought there was some good things. I will always be happy to watch Elizabeth Olsen on screen. I don't care what she's doing.
Yeah.
She'd just be standing there.
Yeah, totally.
I'll be happy to watch it. So that's a plus in my book, the fact that she's in this movie. I thought the fan service was, I understand it's pure fan service. Like when we went and we saw Reed Richards and all that sort of stuff, and it was John Krasinski and, Professor X was back.
Loved all that.
You know, as Patrick Stewart and all that. Like that was
So
that was really good. But I understand it's like all it was pure fan service.
Yeah.
And that's, fine. It is what it is.
I'll take it.
It made me kind of go, this is cool. And then, she offed Reed Richards really quickly, and I was kind of like, that's not real.
That's not real.
That's not
fake.
how that would work.
That's not my Jim Halpert.
I was very upset with that, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, like there's a part where, Captain Britain, or no, is Captain Britain Captain Marvel? No, what does she call herself? Is it Captain Britain?
Yeah, I think Captain Britain.
Whatever. Yeah. Captain Carter.
Captain Carter.
Peggy Carter. Who cares? Whatever her name is. Where, she gets cut in half with her shield. It's probably, we should have seen it.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that that's pushing the boundaries of what we can see in Marvel movies and stuff like that. But this is kind of like, this is the point. Like, this should have been the horror movie.
Yes.
And like, yes, it was scary for fucking 6-year-olds in some points, but only in some points. And I think most 6-year-olds these days would just be like, I've seen Lively.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're already on the internet.
Yeah.
They know shit's bad. You know what I mean? So this was nothing in comparison to that. So a bit of a letdown.
Totally.
But hey.
Talking about letdowns.
Oh, Jesus.
Fucking Thor, Love and Thunder. Holy fuck. Your movie's shit when the main actor comes out and says, I'm never working with the director again.
Yeah, he's kind of, you know what? Like, if there is going to be another Thor movie, and there won't be.
There won't be.
Like, you've had 4. I think that's it. He's basically come out and said, yeah, I think we need to take Thor in a different, kind of more serious direction. And we're like, yeah, bud, we know.
Yeah.
We all saw Ragnarok. We all thought it was cool at the time. But, like having seen that same character then pop up in other movies and continue with the same sort of nonsense,
yep.
You're kind of like, all right, we get it. Fat Thor, yeah, that's funny. Like all that sort of shit. But it's kind of like, let's make this character as cool and as powerful as it's fucking supposed to be.
Yep.
And stop like making it a joke.
Oh,
and
man.
they didn't. They doubled down.
And
holy shit.
Fucking terrible, man. And, I wasn't really the biggest fan of Ragnarok because of like how they made Thor out to be. And fuck, I'm glad this happened because I was like, that's a shit way to take that character. And fuck.
I think for me, I was big on Ragnarok, but I think I was just happy that it was funny. Yeah. Like just to, I was having a good laugh with it. And they did it really well. And like I was a fan of Taika Waititi and all that sort of stuff. But coming into Thor Love and Thunder, like I had heard that it was shit sort of going into it. And I'm like, oh, okay, we'll see how bad it is. And I'm like, it's nowhere near as bad as people were making out. Like they were saying like that it was absolutely the worst thing that has ever happened in the history of anything. And it's not that. But it's fucking not great.
It's fairly average.
Yeah. And like just like there's not, and we're talking about the CG again. There was some CG in there where you're just like, what is happening? Like these are multi-million-dollar movies. We shouldn't have floating heads on the screen. Like just don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't have it like that. Yeah, just have it like have them talking individually. I don't care how you do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like a mind vision or something.
Yeah, they're just having a conversation. Maybe you have them just in a blank space together.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
And they're just having a conversation like they're meeting in some black void.
Yeah.
How cheap would that be to do? And what do? They fucking, oh God, just like terrible. And that's like one of a few things that kind of happened in that movie there. You're kind of like, this is a big budget movie, man.
Totally. Average.
So Thor Love and Thunder was not good.
No. Don't think we'll see that character really ever again for a while.
I can't see much more happening with Thor, to be fair. Like apparently he pops up at the start of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, I think.
But that'll probably be just like...
it's very much like they popped up at the start of Thor Love and Thunder sort of thing. Like, and then they sort of disappeared after that. And the Guardians of the Galaxy almost, are another group that it's kind of like, all right, can we just... just pull back.
Yeah.
Pull back on the funny and just actually put some stakes in there.
Absolutely.
Did you watch the holiday special?
Yeah, it was what it was.
Yeah.
Good to see more Mantis. I like that.
Yeah. But nothing happened that made me go, fuck, I can't wait for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't really even know why it was made.
Me neither.
Cool. It was a fun little thing. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks.
Cool.
Cool.
What I actually did enjoy though was the little werewolf movie they made.
Oh, Werewolf by Night.
Yes.
I never watched it.
Really?
Yeah. Mate, I've made all these plans to sit down and watch it.
Yeah, it's only got 45 minutes.
I don't. How can I have 45 minutes when I'm watching 6 seasons of Cougar Town in a row?
That's fair.
Okay. Give me a break, man. There's only so many hours in 2022, all right? And I didn't have 45 minutes of it to watch Werewolf by Night, but I wanted to because when I saw the trailer, I'm like, that looks pretty interesting. I'd be keen to see that, and if it's the length of an episode of something, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah,
and it was, and I never got to it, but it was okay.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. So much that special feature thing is now going to be more of a thing for Marvel. They're doing Silver Surfer like that too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So just take a really fucking major character and just make a 45-minute episode. Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be the best.
That's probably how they'll do the Fantastic Four too.
Or they'll do some X-Men like that.
They'll probably do some X-Men like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is a shame.
But I get
like there's a million X-Men.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like as long as you're doing the major ones.
Yeah.
And do we even need the major ones? Let's get some different ones.
Yeah. Give me a Jubilee.
Give me a Jubilee. I'll take a Jubilee.
Yeah.
Give me a Gambit.
Oh, you want Gambit so bad.
I do want Gambit so bad. And they teased it with Channing Tatum for years.
Yeah, you're lucky that never happened.
Oh, so lucky. That was the Marvel equivalent of The Rock as Black Adam.
Yeah.
It's like, let's take a guy who is handsome, not that The Rock's handsome necessarily, but let's take a guy who's handsome and charismatic, but doesn't really have a lot of talent or range. To be fair, Channing Tatum, he'll
throw some cards and do some dancing.
Let's make him Gambit, and he's going to put on a shitty accent, and I'm not going to like it.
Nah.
So I'm glad that kind of didn't happen. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Fuck, this was a long movie.
This was the longest fucking movie I've seen in my life.
It was the fucking longest. It felt like the longest ass movie of my life.
I think Avatar 2 is technically the longest movie at 3 hours and 30 minutes.
But
this was close, man.
Yeah.
This was over 3 hours.
Yep.
There was no reason this movie had to be over 3 hours.
Oh man, no way. It was the slowest movie ever.
Everybody had a conversation with everybody at some point that lasted
10
way
minutes.
longer than it needed to last. Every single character had a conversation with that other character.
And you know what, man? They even cut heaps out of this movie.
Why?
Man, there was supposed to be like a love interest between Shuri and Aqua Ankles.
Aqua Ankles, Wing Boy.
Wing Boy. It's like, hey, cool, you just murdered my mum. Let's bang.
Let's bang. Yeah, I don't know how that would have played out.
Yeah, it's just like I don't get that.
But look, let's talk about for a second. Did you like the movie?
The movie was okay.
Yeah.
I was never rushing out to go see it again.
No.
The Wakanda fight suits look like fucking trash. I mean, super comic accurate.
Oh my god!
But so that's when comic accurate doesn't look good. Riri Williams,
the Ironheart suit. No, thank you.
So gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also similar-ish to what it looks like in the comics, but the comics can pull it off.
Yeah, exactly.
For some reason, you translate that to the big screen.
Just
boy,
does
it does not look good.
Yeah, and then like the whole storyline was just a bit.
Yeah. I liked what they did with Namor.
He was cool, man.
I liked it. I thought he was cool. I hated the fact that she just beat him so easy at the end. It's like, hey, and sorry, spoilers for if you haven't seen Black Panther Wakanda Forever, but if you haven't seen it by now, there's nothing else going on, like as far as movies go.
Yeah.
So you should have fucking seen it. It's this, Top Gun Maverick, and Avatar. And if you haven't seen, like, you know, those three movies, like, you're not interested in seeing movies.
That's it.
But it's like, how do we beat him? Let's get him dehydrated.
Make him a thirsty boy.
Yeah, we'll make him thirsty, but not in the sexy way.
He gets his power from water, even though, like, hey, man, you're at the beach. It's like, that's pretty fucking humid looking place.
Just, there is, at no point,
like,
was there any where he couldn't have just gone, he's knocked her down, you know what, I'm going to do a big jump into the water and I'm going to fucking rehydrate. You know, because I know that, you know, and maybe he doesn't know, to be fair.
Gatorade sponsor this man.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, it's kind of like the only excuse I can give it is maybe he didn't know. Like, because he's never faced this before.
Maybe.
So he's never been dehydrated. And he's like, what is happening to me? I don't understand it. And he doesn't know that he just needs electrolytes.
That's a very fair point.
You know what I mean? That's it. That's the only thing, because he's never faced a threat like that before and he's never been in a situation like that. But surely he'd just be like, fuck, I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm feeling a bit off.
Yeah, my skin's dry. I'll just go for a
parched.
swim. Or maybe I'll grab this thing and I'll throw it in the water and we'll have a fight in the water where, hey, guess what? Panthers are generally known to be shit at fighting in.
Yeah, just weird.
Yeah. So there were a bunch of things, and again, it's the third act comic book curse.
Yeah.
That happens. But prior to that, I was pretty happy with what they were doing with him. But fucking long, man.
Yeah, way too long.
Holy shit, this movie was long. I'm really down on most of what's happened in Phase 4. There's a couple of bright points.
Yeah, but man,
few and far between.
Man, there's a lot of shit there.
Yep.
There's so much shit. And, you know, I think a lot of people are down on Phase 4, more like Phase Snore, as everyone is referencing it. And
everyone?
Yeah, me.
Or just you?
Me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make that a thing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, it's just one of the most lackluster periods in Marvel. And I think, like, they really have to look at what they're doing here on forward, because they've got a lot of really good intellectual property to work with coming up in the Phase 5 and 6.
And look, they have turned around and they have said we're going to pull it back a bit. And you know, this is like I don't have the stats in front of me, but I was reading like how much they've released in each phase, and this is like double almost anything that they've released in any previous phase. Like, and they've gone. I think they've kind of gone, yeah, we probably pushed it a bit too much, and they're going to pull it back for like Phase 5 and stuff like that. So there's going to be nowhere near as much content, because this felt like every fucking week something else was happening that you needed to watch from Marvel. Yeah. And, you know, if we hadn't have had, you know, 10, 11 straight years of like good Marvel content prior to this, you might have gone, fuck yeah. But then the fact that we had that, and then you've just gone, well, let's double down on that and let's just force feed it to them. So many people have just gone, you know what? I don't actually care if a Marvel product comes out. I'm not watching it.
Yeah.
I don't have time to, sit here and watch this show about this kid that gets this bangle that gives her powers or some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyway. All right. But I will ask you this. What is... Oh, look, I'll just ask, did you see Top Gun Maverick?
No, not yet.
Great movie. Did you watch Avatar 2?
Fuck no. I'm never going to watch it. I'm never going to watch it.
I'm the same as you. I was like, people like I've had a couple of people ask me if I'm going to like watch Avatar 2, and the answer is no. I will never watch Avatar 2. I don't care.
Nah.
There is not a thing that I give a shit about. Oh, it's a technical marvel. Is it?
I don't care.
It's just a fucking it's an animated movie basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I get...
It looks so realistic. Well, just fucking go look at real life, mate.
Yeah, real life looks realistic too. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't like Avatar 1 enough to bring me back to Avatar 2, however many years later it's been. And you know what? James Cameron just pissed me off by constantly bringing Avatar back to the cinemas just to overtake...
Totally get you.
Like the Avengers movie.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. It's like, you know what? No.
Fuck you, man.
You're not getting a cent of my money and you're not getting a minute of my time.
Yeah.
So I will never see Avatar 2. I don't care. Did you watch the other Jurassic Park movie by any chance?
No, but I did see it's on Netflix now.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
I'll possibly watch it now that it's free.
Yep.
But I also don't care because they've all been
super
varying
average
degrees of average.
Yep.
So what was your favorite... What's your favorite movie then out of the movies that we've spoken about?
Oh, far out.
Because it sounds like to me it's possibly going to be Morbius.
It's Morbius. Easily Morbius.
Come on now. It can't be Morbius.
No.
Morbius over Doctor Strange 2?
I'm going to say Doctor Strange 2 purely for the fan service.
Would you put Morbius over Black Panther Wakanda Forever?
I enjoyed it more.
The fact that it's half as long certainly fucking helps, but I would not say it's a better movie than Black Panther.
I'd definitely put Morbius above Thor Love and Thunder.
Oh, that's not that hard. Okay, so you're going with Morbius.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. That's crazy. No, you're going with Doctor Strange 2, but Morbius is your second. Your favorite TV show?
Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel is your favorite.
Oh, no, sorry, She-Hulk.
When I'm talking about everything.
Or
that's The Boys season 3, Peacemaker.
No, it's Peacemaker.
Stranger Things season 4.
Nah, Peacemaker.
Okay.
Peacemaker was like just so out of left field.
Yeah.
Oh, but Stranger Things 4 was so...
Stranger Things season 4 was pretty good. I would have to go movie-wise, The Batman.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty easy compared to like everything else that was out. TV shows... like my favorite TV show was probably the final season of Breaking Bad.
Oh, okay.
The final season of Cougar Town.
Yeah.
But
you mean final season of Better Call Saul?
What did I say?
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, the final season of Better Call Saul. Sorry. But out of what we've spoken about today, I would probably have to put it as it's very close to either Peacemaker or Stranger Things season 4.
Yeah.
But I'd probably go Peacemaker. Top Gun Maverick was also really good. Very good movie.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
You do. It's on streaming now.
Is it?
Yeah. It's on Paramount.
Oh, Paramount Plus. Gross.
Yeah. But you can sign up to Paramount Plus for like $5 for a month. And so you basically get to watch that for $5.
South Park.
I'd watch, there's a couple of good things on Paramount Plus. Mayor of Kingstown's a really good series starring Jeremy Renner. Hawkeye from the Marvel Universe, if you want to bring it around to stuff we know. Anyway, I guess 2022, Cade, hit, shit, or split.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely shit.
From a content perspective or just overall as a year?
Definitely content was very shit.
Yeah.
As a year, the split.
Yeah. I'd go shit for both.
Yeah.
Not happy with either of them. Hoping 2023 will be a lot better. I guess we'll be back in about a year's time.
Join us again. Same time, same place next year.
January 2024, baby.
We'll be back, and we'll break down everything that happened throughout this fine year or disastrous year. Time will tell.
Time will tell. It always does.
Yep. But let us know what you thought was your favorite TV show, movie from 2023 and give us a hit shit, a split rating on all of it.
Yeah. You know where to find us.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still the Comic Confidential listener community on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's the place where it's all happening. Any other social media outlet is not manned throughout the year.
Yeah.
So you can put stuff on there if you want. Chances are you won't see it. So jump into the listener community and we'll meet you there.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. See you again next year.
Okay, bye.
Bye.